Well, outrage is growing this morning after it was revealed Laos has rejected help from Australia to investigate the methanol poisonings which killed two Melbourne teens. For more, we are joined by former AFP officer Mark Brisky in Sydney. Mark, good morning to you. We spoke to the families of Bianca and Holly earlier this week. Their heartache is palpable. This is not the news they wanted in their desperate quest for answers.
Well, yes, Sarah, everyone's heart goes out to this family. It's an absolutely nightmarish situation to be confronted by your young daughters happily holidaying with a friend and this absolute nightmare to unfold before them, which is understandably, they're very concerned about what's happening.
It's just so deeply troubling. I mean, Mike, I can't understand why would Laos authorities reject assistance in this investigation? That even raises more questions, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And Laos is a country that Australia just last year agreed to provide $53.2 million of aid in, as well as Prime Minister Albanese signing a comprehensive partnership with their Prime Minister in March last year. Not to investigate this raises all sorts of questions about their investigative and process in the Lao People's Democratic Republic.
But somebody's got to be held accountable, don't they, Mark? I mean, will anyone be held accountable for what happened here?
Well, hopefully they will be. What we've got to establish is we've had this type of thing tragically happen in Australia. In 2013, three men in Stanthorpe and Queensland died, and the person who brewed the grappa mixture was charged with grievous bodily harm and manslaughter, as well as a breach of duty. So it'll be interesting to find out underneath this what inquiries are being undertaken as to what offences the person who or persons who brewed this toxic methanol-laced mixture will be facing in Laos, because we've heard of people being arrested, but we haven't heard of people being charged.
I guess the alarming thing here is, I mean, how much faith do you have in the Laos authority, their ability to actually investigate this thoroughly? I mean, what kind of additional powers would the AFP have been able to provide here to help solve this case?
Well, in sync with the Lao authorities, they could help the Lao authorities to gather the evidence required to fulfill the offences that they may prefer against the people who have brewed this toxic mixture. So the AFP could bring the benefit of forensics and toxicology skills. They could also open the avenue to Australian government analytical laboratories, but critically, they could help them, guide them in what do they need to do to put together a brief of evidence against the persons responsible for this.
And critically for the families, it would hopefully help prevent this from ever happening again, which is their main objective for speaking out. Mark, let's hope we do get some answers somehow. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
That is absolutely disgraceful from Laos authorities. I mean, I just can't imagine being the parents. The one thing you want is for it not to happen again, as you say, Sarah. And boom, smacks of a cover-up, doesn't it? Awful for them.
Authorities in Laos will not accept help from Australia's federal police to investigate the methanol poisoning deaths of 6 tourists, including 2 Melbourne teenagers. The families of Bianca Jones and Holly Bowles saying they are extremely disappointed, while the Deputy Prime Minister attempted to provide some comfort.
The expectation of the Australian government that there be a thorough investigation into these events, into this crime, and that the perpetrators be found.
Bianca's father Mark says the family has been left in the dark and is no closer to finding out the truth.